Spoilers for both Last of Us games in this video, and this is based off the games, not the TV show. Thank you. One scene that is considered one of the most saddest scenes in gaming history by many people is the death of Sarah Miller in the video game The Last of Us. This is an important event in the video game, but what would happen if this scene didn't turn out the way it did in the game? What if Sarah never died? Now, I know that others have probably already made videos on this, but I just wanted to give my own take on this interesting scenario to say. So, let's begin. Now, first things first, how would Sarah's death be avoided? There's many ways, but for the sake of this video, let's just boil it down to two ways. Scenario A, where the officer refuses to shoot Sarah, and Scenario B, where Tommy managed to save Sarah. In Scenario A, we can imagine the guard refusing to do what his boss's orders was, which was to kill Sarah, and instead he told Joel to take Sarah far away from Austin, Texas. We know Tommy isn't far from Joel, so I'm pretty certain that Tommy will eventually reach Joel and Sarah, especially since Joel can't run that far, especially when carrying Sarah, I imagine, but yeah. So yeah, and then there's also Scenario B, which would happen if Tommy ran faster than he did in the game, and managed to reach the guard before he managed to shoot Joel and Sarah and kill the guard. Once again, they'll get out of Austin. Now the question for both scenarios is, where would the Millers go? I imagine a few places they could go to, but I'm just gonna throw a limb out there and say they went to Mexico. The reason why I think Mexico is because it's another country that's really, it's literally right below Texas. So they might think that there probably won't be any sick people there, or at least not as many sick people there compared to Texas. In Mexico, they'll probably either find a settlement to live the rest of their lives out, or die. Either way, that's pretty much it for the Miller family. So that's the end of this video. There's totally not any other protagonists in The Last of Us. I'm joking, guys. There's not one protagonist, as a matter of fact, but two! Wait, hold on, so there's three! I mean three, totally! So, the next protagonist we have is Ellie. Now, Ellie's life before the first game and Left Behind would stay the same, but after Ellie gets bit, she'll be escorted by Tess and Tess only since Joel's living in Mexico. Unless Tess got another partner instead, but we'll go back to that later. Tess would have still been bitten since in the game, she let her guard down because she thought they would have a chance for a cure, and that would have still happened in this alternate timeline. So Tess would either leave Ellie to fight off the Federal soldiers and die, or go with Ellie till she becomes a runner, leaving Ellie off to fend off for herself. Either way, Ellie is by her own, and I'm pretty certain that a 14-year-old girl, even if she's immune, is not going to last 3 minutes in the outside world where she has never been before. So don't you dare go tell me in the comments, oh, but Ellie's gonna live. Yeah, I don't think so. You have to remember, she's never been outside Boston, and she does not have any weapons. So, well, except for her switchblade. And maybe Tess's gun if she loots it off her dead body. But that's about it. I don't think she's gonna live for that long, just saying. However, there was a thing I said a few seconds ago about Tess having another partner. What would happen then? I think of three things happening here. Scenario A. This partner also ends up like Tess and gets infected and or dies. Once again leaving Ellie to die by herself in the outside. Scenario B, however, is where this partner and Ellie will go back to Boston and wait for the Fireflies to come back. That is assuming they ever will. And there's Scenario C, where the partner and Ellie find some other settlement or quarantine zone to live. Mind you, that this partner doesn't have a sibling that used to be part of the Fireflies, unlike Joel, so they wouldn't go across the country looking for said sibling, so they'd have no idea where the Fireflies would be. So, scenario B would end up either having this partner and Ellie die due to Fedra finding them since they would be fugitives, and Fedra would find out that Ellie is infected, with quotation marks, or the Fireflies come back to Boston to pick up Ellie and do surgery on her, which will either work and they'll make a vaccine, or it fails and Ellie died for nothing. I am not going to give my opinion on what I think would happen if the surgery did in fact happen, because that's not the purpose of this video. Scenario C, on the other hand, would have this partner and Ellie live their lives normally, as normal can be in this apocalypse. Unless if an Abby situation happens to his partner, which is very unlikely, but then again, she was tested, he or she was tested his partner for like at least a few years, so yeah. Or the Fireflies could somehow find out where they are and pick up Ellie and do surgery, which is also pretty unlikely. So yeah, so that's basically Ellie. So it's time to move on to the last protagonist.
I am a surgeon! I am a surgeon! I am a surgeon! I am a surgeon! Dr. Hahn, I am a surgeon!
Unlike Joel and Ellie, Abby's role in this alternative timeline is, to say at the very least, complicated. Since there's so many scenarios that have happened before, if the Fireflies manage to do in fact this surgery, and it succeeds, Abby will probably be known as a hero, as her father is the one who managed to make the vaccine. If the surgery, however, failed or Ellie dies, I think it will go four ways. Either scenario A happens, where the Fireflies disband since they think all hope is lost. Scenario B happens, where some of the Fireflies, maybe potentially Abby and or her friends and or her father, will rebel against Marlene after they think all hope is lost, which will lead to a lot of Fireflies, potentially even Abby and or her dad and or her friends getting killed. Scenario C could also happen, where some of the Fireflies rebel, but instead of Marlene, they do it against Abby's dad. They would kill him because he killed a child for basically no reason, and this would lead to Abby either dying in order to protect or avenge her father, or Abby just leaves the Fireflies, maybe with their friends, or not. Yeah. This scenario only happens, however, in the surgery failing scenario, so yeah, there you go. And scenario D could also happen, where there are no Fireflies rebelling and the Fireflies don't disband. They just continue what they've been doing in the past 20 years, which would also have this would just have Abby working there until she dies. However, if Ellie is in another settlement, and the Fireflies can't find her, then either the Fireflies will just continue what they've been doing for the past 20 years, which results in Abby working there until she dies again, or the Fireflies disband as they think all hope is lost, which will have Abby living with her father and maybe her friends somewhere else. Potentially Seattle, where she becomes a wolf, just like in The Last of Us Part 2. So, yeah, that's quite a lot of scenarios happening for Abby. But that's about it for this alternative timeline. If The Last of Us Part 3 does in fact release, and there is a new protagonist introduced that's related to Joel or Tess or Sarah or the Fireflies somehow, then I'll maybe make a part 2 to this video. Maybe. Keyword maybe. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you think there's anything else I missed or you want to add in this video, let me know down in the comments below. And please, please keep the comment section non-toxic. No matter if you hate The Last of Us Part 2 or love it, please don't turn this video into warfare. Even if you hate The Last of Us Part 1 or love it, please, alright? It's probably not gonna happen. It's 2024, for goodness sakes. You can get canceled just because you ate a popsicle. But it would be nice if this comment section was friendly. Anyways, alright, whatever. Have a flaming good day, you guys. Goodbye.